Hello guys, Ludeus here, and today I will be updating my LMG guides for the 6.2 update, which somewhat reverted the TTK back to its original 5.0 values, and I will be going over every single light machine gun in the game, starting off with the starting weapon, the KE7. The KE7 is a fairly decent starting weapon. Its stats overall aren't bad, they're not great. I mean, 25 round magazine with a base rate of fire of around 568 or 570 we should say, and yeah, it's pretty accurate. It has pretty low recoil, and I will be going over the specializations that I use for this weapon, which would be starting with in the top tier I would go for quick aim, and then the next bit's up to you. If you would rather have a faster rate of fire, you have to take the enhanced grips, which makes the hip fire better, and then the light bolt, which obviously increases the rate of fire from 570 to 635, which is actually quite a sizable difference, and it makes a lot of difference. However, in doing so, it increases the recoil a bit more, because the high rate of fire means the more recoil compensation you will have to then do. And then finally I would go for barrel bedding instead of light and stock to get better accuracy whilst aim down, sight and standing still. However, you can literally just go full right side to make it a slower firing, more accurate, easier to control weapon, which is okay. I just prefer having the faster rate of fire. It makes the gun a bit more viable at those closer to medium range engagements. In terms of stats, it actually has a fairly decent base muzzle velocity of 740 meters per second, which means you don't actually have to lead your targets at those further ranges as much. And you know, this gun, pretty standard recoil values, a vertical of 0.7 and horizontal of 0.24 in both left and right direction, which means your horizontal recoil shall be the same, which means it's actually better that way, because when you compensate for recoil, you only really have to compensate for your vertical recoil, because there's not much you can do to compensate the horizontal recoil at this point, because it's equal from in both sides. I would not recommend hip firing this gun at all. I mean, you can get away with it in close quarters obviously, and you do have to take the hip fire spec to get the light bolt, so yeah, I still wouldn't hip fire it, but it isn't impossible to do so. And that's basically it for weapon stats. What can I say? It's just an old, reliable light machine gun. It got used a lot at the very beginning of the game when it first released, because it was actually really, really strong, because it had such low recoil, and getting up to that 635 rate of fire, it was the fastest firing LMG until you got the FG42. That's a completely different beast in my opinion. The FG42 is a bit more close range rather than mid range, and that's why I would suggest using the KE7. The KE7 excels at medium range combat. If you see an enemy, you stop, you aim down sight, and you shoot, and you can drop people very fast. Generally aim for center mass, and the recoil should automatically bring the gun up to headshot level, but if you think you can aim for heads and get headshots each time, then go for it. Basically, the damage, the way this differs from it was in the 5.2 is it does less damage at range. So in patch 5.0 this gun actually did 25 maximum and 19 minimum, and now with the changes in 6.2 8.2, it does 25 damage max and drops down to around 15 damage at 75 meters. So at 75 meters, you're looking at a 7 bullet to kill, unless you get you know, headshots in there. And if you get headshots at that range, you can still drop people extremely quickly with this weapon. But yeah, in close quarters, if you get 2 headshots, you can kill people with 2 bullets. It is not impossible. But yeah, I mean, all I can say really about the KE7 is it's an old, reliable light machine gun. 25 rounds in the magazine isn't much, and you will end up reloading this gun a lot. However, I think the rate of fire increase and damage output it can do is justifiable for those medium range, close to medium rangers. I wouldn't want to extend this much further than that. But yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave some in the comments, and I will answer them as best as I can. I am obviously a support main, and I use basically all of the LMGs on a regular basis. So until then, guys, I shall catch you in the next guide, which will be on the Bren gun. Till then, take care.